How did it get to be Wednesday so fast? My goodness. Try that. Me. Matching shit. All right, guys, welcome in. It's House Edge Live with Johnny here from Casino Gaming Central. I put a new camera in place today, so let's see how this thing plays out. Hopefully, it's a little more clear, a little more stable than the other one was. We'll find out. Let me know how it looks vertically and horizontally today. So, all right, working through a new. I don't want to say it's a new series, but working through some new ideas here and testing out some fact or fiction sort of mentality. So. Before we head into it, let's remind ourselves again, why are we so crazy? Why we do these YouTube channels? Why do we fight so hard to teach and figure out ways to win the unwinnable games, right? Well, I think you got to remember, right? The casino don't like you so much. They love your money, but they don't love you. Let's put it that way. They're here to bankrupt you. So, and if you get good, by the way, if you're a good sports bettor, if you're a good blackjack player, you don't get to play anymore. So they love your money so much, they want all of it. They're looking to bankrupt your ass. So how do we get through that? Well, I think there's a couple ways to get through it. One part of our acronym sandwich with these shows is the bridge, right? We have these tools that we give ourselves, right? Understanding what our bankroll is, what it's capable of doing for us, how we can use it to our advantage. If you talk to a card counter, by the way, in blackjack, they will tell you, don't count cards unless you got bankroll, right? You go to a casino with $1,000 trying to count cards, you can't spread enough. You can't use your bankroll as the hammer it needs to be, right? That's an important part of all this. So when you're thinking about how you're going to play, bankroll is a big part of it. It's the one tactical piece that you have, right? Your risk profile, how you identify when it's time to stay, run, get out of the way, lean into the hand, whatever, lean into the shoe, right? Having the discipline to make it happen, right? And again, talk to card counters. Talk to these guys and they'll tell you the stories of burning through an entire bankroll into a shoe and then still having the discipline, understanding what the risk profile looks like, and understanding the math, and their bankroll lets them through the process, right? That's an important part of it. I think if you don't connect all these dots together, you got a big problem, right? I think setting goals to me is the number one thing. And of course, keeping yourself disconnected emotionally from all of it. That's all important stuff. Those are your tools, right? But as a group, we've got to find ways to play within the tool set, right? And so that's why I do these shows every day, trying to find different ways to not only teach how to survive in that world, but also try to find new tools. So we'll do maybe a little bit of tool hunting today. So that said, let's jump in here and what's happening in the world. So I'm going to try, like I said, to make sure we cover the TV schedule, as it were. Of people I know that are going live on the regular. So I know, and you should know, Craftsmaster Journey, Big Joe, goes live every day, 6 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern. Does his everyday practice show, right? He working on that toss. That guy's a great shooter, by the way, and a great man. Watch him every day. We know that Brian from White Crap Shooters goes live most days. We know that George goes live most days. I don't have their exact schedule, so I'll put those up when I get them. I'll also put up here the schedule for the Brownwater Bash when I get the exact dates. I'll put that up there for you as well. The Shooters Tournament's about to start. I know George is putting the call to action out there. The intro video came out. I don't know when the schedule is. I got to talk to him on the side and I may put a slide up here that just has the schedule for the Shooters Tournament, so you know who's coming up next, when they're shooting, who's going to host them, all that kind of thing. That's a big tournament. That might deserve an entire segment on the show to kind of review each day what's going on there. But that's, I think, the fourth year of this. Is that the fourth year or the third year? It's pretty cool how he's gotten everybody rallied up to kind of work that thing. So anyway, that's what's happening in the craps world. Now, what's happening in the real world is this. The AC crew, Lou posted it last night in Facebook. They made mention of it on the podcast the other night. That crew is tearing it up in AC. Last time I played with those guys, by the way, the group was about half the size that it is now. And we made some dust bunnies at was it the Nugget? No, it was the Nugget. We tore that place up with Anthony on the dice. But apparently they've hit the ATS a couple times. They took 100K off the table one day, one session. They took 100K off the table. 4 shooters in a row, like 30 plus, like one of those dream sessions that, we all have. They got it. So go to Facebook. I think he posted it in the Casino Tiers group in Facebook. Go check it out. You'll see Lou's full report. I have a feeling he'll be on with Chris and Craig on Full of Chips, and probably recount some of the story. But those guys are down there just tearing it up. So it's really cool to have a crew, right? And Ian, I'm gonna shout you out, my friend. It's good to have a crew, right? That plays together on the regular, knows each other, right? It makes the experience better. But boy, oh boy, you catch 2 or 3 of us in a row like that, man, that would be a dream. Wouldn't it be a dream just like this close? No, call me down one of these days, Ian. Anyway. We have a target to hit now. Challenge accepted from the AC crew. So good job, guys. All right. Next thing I want to get into with you, of course, is what we've been talking about this week, which is this kind of like this idea of fact or fiction. And what I want to talk today about is streaks. And are they real or whatever? Right? I put streaking for the win up here. 2 of these words to me mean the same thing. Streak and a cluster. If you're going to go definitionally, those 2 things are the same. And the difference between them is just how you perceive what's happening, right? Numbers cluster. And I think if you take a look, and we'll talk more about trends. I've crossed trends out here because I don't think trends fits into this conversation so well, but we will talk about trends, I think, tomorrow. But unless there's like something behind it, right? Like a shooter, like with a set, with a toss that's consistent, you can't really trend anything, right? But those guys will find clusters of numbers, right? They will, based on their set and toss, form some weird cluster of like a bunch of insides or a bunch of outsides or whatever it is that day. So clustering is a thing that can happen randomly, and it can also happen forcefully. It happens in both directions. A streak really doesn't happen forcefully. A streak really happens randomly, but they happen all the time. And the games I would use as the example here, obviously roulette, high, low, odd, even, red, black. You can use baccarat, player banker. You can use the pass line or don't pass line in craps. These things that are kind of like a coin flip sort of a thing, they will more often form a streak. When you have things that happen every third time, like a dozen, dozens don't necessarily form streaks as easily. The 50-50 bets typically do. And when they do, there's no predictive to it. You can't tell what's coming next. Just because red came or black came or banker came doesn't mean that's coming next. But what you're hoping for is that the natural proclivity for these things to just kind of happen, that you're there when it happens, right? And if you're betting on it the first time it happens, and it happens a couple times in a row, and you're progressing your bets correctly, you can make some money in a streak without knowing what's coming next. And that's the point of it. I think streak betting is, you've got to come at it, or cluster betting, you've got to come at it with this mindset of, I don't know what's coming next, because you can't know what's coming next because everything is independent. We know this. The ball doesn't know. The guy spinning the ball does not know what's coming next. What he did last time has nothing to do with what's going to happen next, but it happens. 4 or 5 reds in a row. So if you bet the first one and it wins, good for you. Let's hope for a few more. And if that does happen, we're going to progress our bets, right? What I want to do today is take a look with you. We'll go to the craps table here and just look at some patterns that we can follow that kind of catch the streaks and some of the different goals that these patterns have, or these betting patterns have, to get it, and kind of how you size your bankroll up. I'm going to focus mostly on positive progressions versus negative progressions, but I do want to take a look at a regression system and compare it all to the flat better. Okay, so with that said, let's go down to my table. I'm going to get my keyboard and mouse out of the way here, and we'll just play. We're not going to play it out. I'm just going to kind of demonstrate to you the best way to sort of plan for it. So the first thing I want to look at here, it says the edge blade on there, it shouldn't. But let's take a look. I'll get some green chips out here on the table. It doesn't matter how many I have just yet, but let's take a look at a couple of common patterns. Flat better aside, the flat better is just going to win 1 unit or lose a unit every time something happens. So he wins, great. He wins, great. He loses, that sucks. He comes out of his win pile, right? And he's recycling money, right? 50-50 bettors are going to basically lose the house edge over time. When you're playing a flat bet, unless you get 4 or 5 in a row, you're going to lose the house edge. That's what you're literally going to give it away. Okay. But let's take a look at some different methods of attacking a streak. And I make mention all the time of my favorite pattern because it's easy to remember. It's a 1 3 2 4. And I want to show you how the 1 3 2 4 is supposed to work. And then we'll get our bankroll sized right. Okay, check this out. Here's how I think about things. We'll use the pass line or the don't pass. It doesn't matter which one. This could be red, black roulette. This could be player, banker, baccarat. This could be your blackjack bet. It doesn't matter what this first bet, what we're betting on. I happen to have craps in front of me. That's why I'm using it. Okay, but this, again, works for everything. So your first bet, let's say that you win the first bet. You're going to win a unit. Okay, the 1 3 2 4 says parlay the win and add 1. So you go from a 1 unit bet to a 3 unit bet. 1 3. Now that costs you 2 units. Your initial output is 1 unit, but you got to power press. It's going to cost you 2 to get the progression going. Okay, that's hit number 1. Let's mark the hits with the Lambert. That was hit number 1. Okay, on hit number 2, you would win 3 units. Okay, you regress your bet down to 2 units. That was the second hit. Okay, 1 3. Now we're on a 2 unit bet. If the 2 unit bet wins, I'll put your wins over here. The 2 unit bet happens to win. That would be hit number 3. You parlay it up. Now you're at the 4 unit bet. 1 3 2 4. The 4 unit bet wins. Here's where we land. There's your 4 unit win. Okay. We'll put all the wins over here. Now remember, you started out with 2 units. 1 that you started with, 1 that you had a power press in. So your 2 units goes back into your stack. What you net win is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 units. So if the 1 3 2 4 happens to catch 4 in a row, which is the goal of this strategy, get me 4 wins in a row. Not easy to do, but it happens all the time. Okay. If you catch your 4 in a row, you win 10 units. What's the proper bankroll? Okay. To me, the proper bankroll for this is 9 units because I want to make sure I win 1, right? So I will take 9 chances to win this thing. If on the 9th one I happen to get it, I'm going to win 10 units. I'll be up a unit. Now, what I do is I'll play with 9 units and I'll keep going while I have 9 units. So what could happen sometimes is this. You might have this, move these out of the way. Here's my 9 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Let's say that we're here. We catch a win, right? And let's say we lose it, which will happen, right? Okay, fine. Or we lose our first bet, okay? Come out again with another one, okay? It wins. There's your win number 1. We parlay it up, right? The parlay bet wins like it's supposed to. There's your 3 bet win. You go down to 2, reset the bankroll. 1, 2, 3. Now I've got my 9 units plus a unit in profit, and I'm playing. So manage your rec. As long as I have 9 units thereabouts, I'm playing, right? All the profit goes over here. When this is depleted, it stops the system, right? If I happen to catch, let's say I lose, let's just say we lose this many times. I'm not going to play it out. Let's say we lose all those, and you come out over here, right? You're here. You win 1, you parlay it up, you win the parlay, you come down to 2. There's 5, 6, 7. The 2 unit bet wins, right? There's the 1 that was the 3. Here's the 2, right? 2 wins. You're at 4. 4 wins, 8. That was your streak, right? You're done. There's your 9 units, and your profit is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. Instead of 10, it's 7 units, right? Because you lost a little bit, but you gained it back. As long as you have 9 units to play with, you keep on playing it. So your bankroll for this is 9 units. Sometimes 9 units will win you 10. Sometimes 9 will win you 7. Sometimes 9 will win you 1. But it's a 9 unit spread. You come out here with a 1, 3, 2, 4 with a $25 bet with $2,000. You're going to lose money every time. You've got to make sure that you scope your bankroll, knowing what the end game is going to be. All right, that's the 1, 3, 2, 4. Now, if you want to do a straight up 4-leg parlay, different story. Watch this one. We'll do a straight up 4-leg parlay this time. Here's your money. You're going to take 1 unit. You're never going to collect 4 times. You're going to go 4 times, no collection. So 1 wins 1. That's your first win. Okay. 2 wins 2. That's your second win. 4 wins, 4. That's your third win. And finally, 8 wins, 8. So I'm asking you in chat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You started out with 1. Your net is 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 units is your net. Okay. If the pattern works, you win 4 in a row with a full parlay. It's a 15 unit win. What should the bankroll be? Somebody in chat say what should the bankroll be? It's pretty easy calculation. Okay. It's always 1 less than when it works. So, right, 14 units should be your bankroll because you're going to give it 14 tries to win 15 units, which means after the 14th one, if you never got 4 in a row, you're done for the day. Okay, so 14 units, by the way, with quarter bets, $350. Okay, it's $350 to maybe win $375. It's 100% profit if that thing works out. That's how this works. Okay, so again, look at your patterns that you're trying to bet with, your betting system that you want to play, right? Subtract the amount you're going to win in units. That's your bankroll, -1. Your win target -1. You need that many bullets. If one of your bullets wins, you'll be ahead. You can reset the whole thing. If you happen to win, by the way, your 15 units on the 14th one, and you'd be up 1 unit and have all your money back, that's decision-making time. Do I just say, well, I'm out for the day? We talked about yesterday how 90% of us are up at some point. There you are, you're up, right? Do you walk away with that 1 unit of profit? Is 1 unit enough for you to walk away with? Okay. If you're betting blacks, maybe it is enough for you to walk away with. So think about that. Right? That's the full parlay versus the 1, 3, 2, 4. Now, some people will do a regression, which I love a regression. Here we go. This one's different though. You're going to take, this is going to be a never stop. This one's harder to do bankroll on, right? You're going to go out with 2 or 3 units. Let's do it with 3. I'll show you the way. I like a 3-unit regression better than a 2-unit regression, but let's just start with 3. Okay. Watch what happens here. I'm going to move my bankroll to this side. Okay. Remember, your bullet size is 3. Okay. If 3 wins, what are you going to do? Regress down to 2. Okay. So now you have 4 units. You have your initial bullet back plus a profit unit. Okay. If 2 units wins, you go up and pull. If 3 units wins, you go up and pull. Now you have another bullet and 1 on the way. Again, you got your bullet back. You built up a bullet and you have another bullet in process. If 4 units wins, up and pull. And now you got 1, 2 extra bullets plus 1 on the way. If you happen to lose 4 or 5 times in a row, this is how you rebuild your bullets. You make, okay, I got one of them back. I got one of them back. Work on another one. If we lose in here, fine. Start back over again. And you've got, again, 2, let's say 2 of your 5 bullets have been recovered. Take that 3-unit win, come down to 2. There's 1, right? On your way back. If 2 units wins, you're golden, right? You got your up and your pull. You're essentially back home. When 3 wins, up and pull. This one goes on forever. There's no end game until you get into profit. So it's harder to calculate the bankroll needs here. The real thing, though, is how many bullets do you want to play with, right? So if you're going to play with, let's say, 10 times, trying this streak or this pattern 10 times, obviously you need 10 times 3 or 30 units. 30 units at the quarter level is $700, right? You're going to need right, 4 units per 100. 30 or 28 units is 700 plus 2. So you need 750 to get that done. More money required to make that work. Now, if you do it with 2 units, by the way, you can still do it. 2 units wins 2, regress to 1. There's your initial stake. There's a unit in profit. Okay. The 1 has to just be parlayed. And then you start the pattern again. Up and pull, 3, up and pull. You'll notice that you build your bullets back way faster this way, right? Your 2-unit bullets start building quick. You can get your money back much, much faster with a 2-unit base. However, that second one is not pulling profit back. The second one's a parlay. There's no profit there. So again, streak betting needs multiples in a row for it to work. Now, I've seen people talk about this one, which is kind of interesting. Here's another one of my favorites is this. Let's do the 1, 3, 2, 4, but a different way. Let's go 1, okay? And we'll mark it. First win, wins 1, we press 1. The second win is a 3-unit win, okay? What we're going to do here is we're going to take back the 3. We're just going to same bet it on that second one. We're going to same bet the second one. You got your money back. You have a unit in profit, so you're golden. You can restart again if you need to. You earned a bullet back, and you get to keep some. Now from here, we're going to look for 4 in a row. We're going to try for a 6 leg or a 6 wins in a row streak. Okay, so from 3 wins 3, that's your third one. It goes to 6. 6 wins 6. Looks like 12. 12 wins 12. Now you're at 24. That was your 5th win. Okay. And if God forbid you get a 6th win, 24 pays 24. I don't even have 24 chips over here, do I? 1, 2. Okay. This is looking for 6 in a row. A 1-3 and then a bang, 4-legger after the 1-3. Right? The net of this, by the way, is there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 2, 3, 4, 5, 45, 48 units is your net. Okay. This one is a big one. Okay. You only need 2 units to get into it. Okay. 2 units to win 48 on a 6-leg run. Now that's almost never going to happen. Okay. However, how would you size your bankroll for that? Well, you need 2 bullets, 2-unit bullets to win 48, which means there's 24 chances essentially to win 48. You need 23 bullets. You might just say, give it to make it easy, give you 20 bullets, $500 at the green level to win that. Okay. But again, you got to scope it out first, right? Again, and I know for a fact, this is what Waylon does when he makes his strategies. He puts it all out here. What am I going to lose? What am I going to win? How do I size the bankroll? Again, your bankroll in these kinds of systems is the most important piece of the puzzle. How much bankroll do you need bases on a streak betting system on the target you're trying to win? So when you're trying to win X, subtract a little bit from X. That's your bankroll, the number of bullets you need to get there. And that's how, when I put these things together, that's the methodology that I use. Now, again, I can't predict if it's going to be pass. You don't know. You don't know if it's going to be red. You don't know what it's going to be. All you're trying to do is when one thing happens, keep on betting it. Now, you might say, roulette goes red, black, red, black, right? Like this. That's also a streak, right? If you want to bet the bouncy as your streak, that's fine. You want to bet all black as your streak or all red as your streak, it does not matter. It doesn't matter. I like to follow the winner. It's easy to see, easy to remember, right? Betting one color all the time, or player all the time, or banker all the time, or fine, easy to remember. Blackjack, obviously, you're just betting the one thing, right? So think about where your money's going. It doesn't matter. The chances of going red-black is the same as going red-red. There's no difference in probability. It's just a matter of what your brain can remember so you don't screw the bets up, right? Pattern betting or streak betting, honest to God, the biggest thing about it to me is not forgetting where your bets are. So let's go back over here and continue to talk. So that's my thoughts on it. Streak betting, finding a easy to remember betting pattern is a way to kind of capitalize on a streak when it forms or a cluster when it forms, right? The pattern that you bet on, whether it's all black, all red, follow the winner, or follow the opposite, bet the chop, whatever you want to do, the pattern you decide to bet on is up to you. It's not up to the results. The probability doesn't change. You bet what you think is going to be easy for you to get done. I like follow the winner just because, right? If I find myself in a chop, I may switch to chop betting, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. The probabilities don't change either way. Find what you like and hang on it. So there it is. That's my talk on streaks. Our streaks fact or fiction? They are 100% fact. Our clusters fact or fiction? 100% fact. Our patterns fact or fiction? 100% fiction. Patterns are your brain creating order out of chaos. That's all that patterns are. There's no real patterns. It's just what happens and your brain trying to make sense of it, right? Are there trends? To be determined. We'll have that conversation tomorrow. Okay. But with that said, that's what I want you to take away from today is the idea of streak betting. How do you build a system around it? And there's a million different ways to do that. A 1, 4, 2, what you can change your units however you want to. Okay. The regression up and pull, you can go negative progression, the same. It all works the same. It all works the same in the end. All right. The difference though, by the way, and I should show you this maybe tomorrow. The difference is in the ceiling. So if you're going to do this, and when I show you my simulations, I can run the flat bets, and the flat better just again loses house edge. They catch a win, they win 5 or 6 units, whatever. The guy betting 1, 3, 2, 4, right, loses more often than the flat better because I mean they lose the first bet at the same rate. The second bet, he loses an extra unit versus the flat better. He loses 2, right? The difference is the ceiling of those things, right? When you're looking at the ceiling of what the 1, 3, 2, 4 can do versus a flat better on 4 in a row, it's a big difference. The flat better wins 4, the 1, 3, 2, 4 guy wins 10, right? So you raise the ceiling, but the floor is the same. The floor is still that flat unit base, right? The difference being if the flat better wins the first one, he's got it back. And the second one he loses, he's tied. The 1, 3, 2, 4 guy wins the first one, power presses the second one and loses. He's down 2 units instead of being tied. That's the difference. Bigger floor, bigger ceiling. So take it for what you will. That's my my preference. All right, come on back and let's do one final thing here. I'm going to go through questions. I don't know. I'm looking at the chats. There's no chats today, so I'm hoping that we're actually live. I don't know if people are watching on the vertical or the horizontal today. I can't even tell. I can't tell. I don't even know if the vertical went live again. It's hard to tell. I don't see any questions, so it looks like horizontal is not working. Okay, so whatever, man. I'm not sure why. What is going on with this damn thing? I'll keep working at it. What's interesting is, and I said this the other day, in YouTube, the vertical feed gets like 3 or 4 times the views that the horizontal feeds get because YouTube is shoving those tall ones at the phones. So I have to do the verticals because that's what YouTube is shoving out as much as it can versus the horizontal view. But those of us who watch on a computer and a TV set need the horizontal. So I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway, keep working at it. Apologies if the stream wasn't great today, but hopefully the information was. And that's we'll go ahead and end it there. We'll end it there with your with the other acronym as part of acronym sandwich was FOCUS from Lou. Follow your plan, observe the conditions, streaks, right? Control your emotions, right? On the 6th leg of a 6-leg parlay, you can't be here. You got to expect it either way, right? Understand the odds, right? When I talk about trending and streaks, understand the odds don't change in this kind of stuff and stay disciplined. If you stay disciplined, you have your bankroll right, you're going to be just fine. Okay. So leave you with the inspirational quote of the week. And again, an idiot admires complexity. A genius admires simplicity. I think there is extreme simplicity in streak betting like this. When you just alter your bet sizes based on what just happened and you get into a pattern your brain can remember and put order to, you're going to be fine. It's easy. It's simple. You can't forget it. And the ceiling is just as high as something that's complex without putting you in a position to make a mistake. Complexity creates chaos. And I don't like that. Keep it simple, stupid. Have a great day, everybody. Love you. See you tomorrow.